Yeah. Yeah, it was a computer. It was a computer that was the issue. Which I'm gonna change locations now. Actually, oh, can you unplug it? So I'm going to the dining room. Okay. Okay. Let's call on stuff. Murphy's Law, man. Murphy's Law in full effect. And the glare might be a little much. Here we go. So we had a few delays, technical delays, as always. Just like when you go to fix a machine, you think it's a lid switch, and you get there, it is a lid switch, but something else goes wrong. So Murphy's Law is in effect, but we are up and running. A-Team Appliance, Q&A on appliance flipping, and also marketing. And I've got my toolbox with me. Thank you, Engineered Appliance Repair. Appreciate you, man. How long you been in the business? So everybody can hear me. Mic check, mic check. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Oh, you can't hear me. Okay, cool. What is that? Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. So thanks for joining. I'm sure other people will come in, so we probably repeat a lot of stuff. My name is Reggie Williams. I have been a serial entrepreneur and been in the appliance business for quite a while. Started off with, got a YouTube education. I did go to trade school for 2 semesters, mainly for the student loan to help fund my business. And I also wanted to learn refrigeration from there. So I learned a little bit about it, but found my niche in washers and dryers, primarily because washer and dryers, just the path of least resistance. And if you can find a niche and then just market the crap out of it, you can always expand later. But I found washer and dryers are good for especially one man lone wuss, one man shows. And they're easy to track, easy to put on your truck, easy to install with just you and a dolly, pretty simple to fix. And it's less of a emergency for customers. So if a customer calls you and say, "Hey, washer you sold me stopped working," you're like, "Oh, okay, I'll be there tomorrow or I'll be there next day." If it was a refrigerator, it's like, "Hey, your refrigerator stopped working. Come now and fix it. My food is going bad." So I enjoy watching the dryers, but I mean, putting together, you can always put together a team. Like actually interviewing the guy today to do refrigerator repairs for me too. Um, but yeah, so we got, let's see, filed my LLC, took a course, not getting insurance business cards. Cool. Well, just getting started. So if you're just getting started, so engineered appliance repair, said you filed for the LLC, took a course, now getting insurance and all that. That's great, but before LLC, insurance, and all that stuff, start making money, man. Start making money. I mean, the chances of actually having to file an insurance claim when you first get started are pretty low. Insurance is cheap though. I know I go through Hitchcock's and pay I think $40 a month, so it's pretty cheap for insurance. No big deal. LLC can cost you a few $100s, but it's not necessary. You can always get the LLC and all that later on, but you want to be able to make enough money to actually pay taxes. If you don't, if you're making less than $10,000 a year, you don't pay taxes anyway. And in the government, I mean, I'm not giving advice on, I'm not an accountant or anything, but the government really don't care much about the little guy. It's once you start making big numbers, they want their money. Um, but yeah, make money first, man. So speaking of that, let's get into marketing a bit. If you're just now getting started, set my cell phone. Your best tool is your cell phone. Stay away from thinking you have to pay for things. I mean, it's a good one. You'll start paying for things as you get started. You start paying for things as you start to grow. But your biggest asset is your mind. So when you start in a business, you want to take advantage of the most free things you can. And right now we're in a age of the internet where the middleman is removed. You can go on Craigslist, you can go on Facebook, you can use apps to advertise your business for free. Back in the day, I'm 42 years old, so I know a lot of us know. Back in the day, you just had to go through the yellow pages. You had to, pay marketing companies. It was crazy because people, there was no internet. It wasn't as popular anyway, and you had to use the yellow pages or the newspaper, and you had to pay them to let people know what you did. Now that middleman is gone. It's just with your smartphone. You wake up this morning, I was in bed just answering customers' questions and putting ads out and just working, and you can do that right from your phone. So some of the apps I use, let me open them up. So these are my listing apps. Not very clear. Yeah, it's not very clear. But I use 5 Mile, OfferUp, Nextdoor, Facebook Marketplace, Let Go, and Google My Business. Google My Business is a nice tool where you so man, I wish you could see it better. But Google My Business is basically like a website, free through Google. You have to verify your address, and they give you basically a website. It's linked with Google Maps, and people will go on there. And so I post pictures and stuff of the machines I have. I have some customers give me reviews on there. Be careful with reviews, though. I try not to push that too much because that can kill you. I almost hate reviews because the people who are motivated to give reviews are the ones that are pissed or didn't get their way. So you can't satisfy everybody. But typically, I like, especially like if I do the best reviews is if you work on a friend's machine and say, we always give friends discount. We do it for free. Say, hey, if I'm doing this for you, you need to go give me a review right now. Like not like, oh, okay, I'll do it later, and you got to bug them. So let me take some questions. Flash repair part time after 5 on Saturday. What kind of inventory do I need? Okay, so what type of inventory do you need to get started? Number one, after 5 on Saturdays, that is actually prime because a lot of people aren't working after 5 or on the weekends. After you get established, you kind of lay back and be like, hey, if you ain't available before 5, or sometimes you got guys you're hiring and all that. That will do some deliveries for you, but for the most part, So what kind of inventory do you need? I would start off with washers and dryers because it's the path of least resistance. They're the easiest. Washers and dryers, direct drive. Direct drive means like Whirlpool products, Whirlpool Kenmore. Basically, like if the washer, you can tip it over, and underneath you can see the motor and transmission. Those are direct drives. They're the easiest to fix. Um, start if you're starting off like bare bones starting. Start with dryers. A dryer you can fix in 10 minutes, man. A Whirlpool dryer, Whirlpool brand dryer, because you're getting the G and all that, man. It's a lot to take apart. So with a Whirlpool dryer, you see any of my videos, Whirlpool dryers, you go in the back and there's a panel. You take the panel off, everything is right there. The heating element, all the fuses, everything except the motor, which rarely ever goes bad. Um, so there you have, you take the air. I got a video for this on my channel, but on a Whirlpool dryer, you take the air duct off and you clean out the air duct, test your fuses, change the element, whatever you got to do. Uh, some cases, and this is also my channel, there are certain, especially the newer Whirlpool dryers, have bad timers. So take the timer off, you clean the contact, put it back on. Again, all this is on my channel, so just check out my videos. Um, Takes 5 minutes, man. And if you're doing it part time, that'll be best because you have, dryers are easy. Everybody needs a dryer. Usually, when you deliver it, though, check for air duct issues. But doing it part time, I would start just grinding dryers out, man. I would sell dryers, repair dryers, stick to dryers. It's fast, and especially if you're working after 5, you don't get tied up with, like fixing a washer, and you get to take hours. You're trying to find a leak or something crazy. So that's my suggestion on inventory. Where to find inventory, I got a video on that too. Inventory you can get from scrappers, which sometimes they're kind of beat up, but you can get it from scrappers. That's the cheapest way to get it because your only competition is the scrapyard, which is given like 3 or 4 cents a pound. So hey, it's either take my $20 for this machine or get $5 from the scrapyard or less. Um, there's warehouses that sell wholesale machines. Typically, I know from the prices I've seen, it's usually between $50 and $60 per machine. That's the worst way to buy them, but you can get them in bulk, and kind of get started. You can do it at the best way. You're gonna do an ad free haul away because private owners are always trying to get rid of appliances. So you can say free haul away of your just say washer and dryer though, because everybody and their mama want to get rid of a refrigerator and they're a pain. It's nice if you got the storage space and you actually want to fix refrigerators and all that, but everybody's trying to get rid of a refrigerator, man. And actually you can almost charge to haul them away if you want to get a little extra hustle money from that. But washers and dryers free haul away, you can get them quick and easy that way. So hope that answers your question. Next, any suggestion for a person working out of their apartment? We all start in our apartment, bro. Hey, I started off, and I'm glad I got a cool wife because I started off with a washer torn apart in my living room, trying to figure out how to fix it when I first started off. So yeah, man, you do what you got to do. Again, the good news is we're in the age of the internet, where customers don't have to come to us anymore. They prefer not to. My bread and butter is delivery. People say, "Hey, I seen your dryer on Facebook Marketplace, offer up whatever," and I say, "Great, I'll bring it to you between 12 and 2." Boom, you take it. They never come to your shop. Most people, they're not trying to haul away, a washer and dryer. You can't just throw that in your trunk and take it in the house. So yeah, working out your apartment, no problem, man. You just gotta deal with your neighbors and all that, but and and especially if you have small children, just make sure things are safe. But yeah, man, you just for the longest, I never owned a washer and dryer. We would use whatever I had in inventory, and that was kind of like my way of testing. Like especially if it's a machine that I get and the customer says something's wrong with it and I can't find nothing wrong. Like, okay, I guess I'm testing it out. So yeah, sell your own sets. Like keep them in your apartment. If you need storage, the best thing is storage units. You can go get a cheap storage unit and store your machines there. Fix them in your house, take them to your storage unit, and just grind it out, man. And then if you every once in a while you have a customer want to come pick them up from the storage unit. No need to come to your house because that's kind of weird. They come in your apartment, and you got like 10 machines in your living room. So. Yeah, so apartment is all you need is you don't even need a shelter, man. You just need somewhere with power and water. Shoot, I worked out of a storage unit, and what I used to do was to get power. I made sure I got to a storage unit that had a light bulb screw in. Went to Home Depot and got one of those power plugs that screw into the light socket with the plugs on it. And I would test machines out of the storage unit, plugging it into the light. And then also I made I looked for a storage unit that had water spigots, and what I would do is get there early before the manager gets there, and I would test washers, and I had a 100-foot hose I would hook up, and you do what you got to do, man. I had a 100-foot hose I would hook up, and I would test washers, man, before the managers got there in the morning, and so I had running water and everything. But you got to be resourceful, man, if you want to you want to make some cheddar. So any other questions? I'm here to answer. It's Reggie A Team Appliance. Guess hang on. Let me dig in my toolbox here. All right. So marketing. If you're in so you want to go where the eyeballs are. You want to stay away from. Sorry, multitasking. You want to stay away from. I want to say getting in your own way. Like if you have a fear of Craigslist or you hate Facebook because of people. I hear this stuff all the time, and that's just. But you know what? There are millions of other people that use Craigslist to buy things. There are millions of other people that uh like Facebook. Um, so stay out of your own way. Just because you don't personally like it, um, your customers do. So you want to go where the eyeballs are, and you want to embrace things. So like with Craigslist, like I meet so many people that, oh, I'm scared of Craigslist, the Craigslist killer. Crazy. And I was like, well, you know what? There's enough people that use Craigslist on a regular basis that, hey, I'm not worried about the bad press they got. Because Craigslist don't produce crazy. Crazy produces crazy. Um, so anyway, wherever the eyeballs are, man, and it's free. So I don't use Craigslist as much anymore because I'm following the trend. And right now the trend is Facebook Marketplace, Facebook ads. So Facebook Marketplace now Facebook has elevated where before it's not just using the marketplace for free, it's elevated to Facebook ads. In which now we are extending a division of A2 Appliance where we're doing Facebook marketing for appliance repair technicians. With Facebook marketing, you can target Facebook ads. You can target anything. Now, I'm not talking about boosting. That's a complete waste of money for right now. So, because you boost, it kind of just randomly gets thrown out there, and you'll get somebody like 4 states away replying. You're like, what? So anyway, Facebook ads, you can target anything. So right now we're target. I would target because I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. So there's a lot of corporate people here. There's a lot of um, there's some blue collar, but there's a lot of working class people here. So I target certain things, certain demographics. Uh, I mean, I even target competitors. Not really, quote unquote competitors, but I would target like I will see like a mega used appliance store. Like there's a big used appliance store here. I would target their address, and what Facebook will do is they will send your ad to people that has been in that area. So anybody that like pulled in their parking lot, been there for substantial amount of time, they will throw ads to them. So these are people who are actually probably looking for appliances, or if they hit and buy from there, they will see my ad. It's great, man. You could just target, and then also you pay attention to who your customers are. So with washer and dryer repair and resale, I noticed most of my customers live in apartments. They rent. Some are single women because they don't have a guy there to bring in a washer and dryer or try to fix theirs. Um, you have new homeowners. Um, Anything it's about being creative. So you have so being creative and listening to your customers. Anybody that's ever looked up appliance repair, so like I had one customer actually yesterday. I say, hey, so how'd you find me? So I know, what, if my advertising dollars are working. And she was like, uh, she said she had asked somebody on Facebook, I guess she's complaining about her dryer not working, and they had been without a dryer for 3 months. And she's like, all of a sudden your ad just popped up. She was like, Facebook knew me and knew what I needed, and all of a sudden your ad popped up, and so I called you. And so to her, it's Facebook magic. To me, it was like it's targeting. I'm like, yeah, because you mentioned repair, you said a key word, and bam, my ad popped up. Um, so that's awesome. So if anybody ever, oops, my battery's running low. So if anybody had ever, I lost my train of thought, man, losing power. We plug in a second. I completely lost my train of thought now. Threw me off. But yeah, if Facebook is awesome though. This the targeting you can't beat, man. Whatever you can create and think of, it automatically will find it. So, what's up, science? All if foolery. I don't know what that means. But how's it going, man? Engineered appliance repair. What up? What up? Laren, what's up, man? So if you guys any questions, fire off, man. Fire off. I'm gonna be on here probably another like 15 minutes, So fire off. I'm gonna try to do these every once in a while, preferably on Saturday mornings, but we'll see how it goes. Because guess what, money comes first. So if I get a bunch of repairs, guess what, I'm out. But yeah, so today I got quite a few. I've got to go out and let me see. Let me tell you guys my schedule for today. So what happens is I'll have like the day before I'll have like maybe 3 stops scheduled, and then by noon I'll have like 6 more. Like because people just and plus I like to schedule everything like now. Like if somebody says, hey, I need a repair, I'll either schedule it for that date or the next day, because you can lose that repair. So what'll happen is people will be like, oh, my aunt ended up giving me a machine, or or it started working out of nowhere. So you want to jump on them, man. And then people get antsy too, especially, a lot of times they're calling you on their day off, and this is laundry day. So yeah, so we got some more questions. Do I work with any warranty companies? I do not work with any warranty companies. I have in the past. I found it to be a waste of time and a hustle. Just my opinion. Because when I worked for a warranty company, I worked with one. I won't say for. Um, I had to work super cheap in order for them to continue to send me leads. Like I was trying to average at least $200 a repair, which for me I feel is cheap on any stuff, especially on newer machines. And I felt that was too high for them, so they stopped sending me as many leads. But when I did stuff like $100, $120, they was flooding me with leads. And just for me, that's just not worth your time. But it's nice to keep you busy. You definitely can leverage that if you hire a guy, keep him busy. But the hustle there is to really, and I don't subscribe to this, but it's to get there and say, oh, the warranty company is not going to cover it, but I'll still repair it for $250 or something like that, and then you get the money out of the homeowner. That's the real hustle with warranties, in my opinion. But to me, I'd rather not do business that way. But now the face of warranty repairs is starting to change, because you got Amazon getting in the game now, and so I am looking into that, doing Amazon service work, because it's a changing of the guard, so hopefully things will change, as far as what they pay, and being more, I don't know, being more of a win-win for us. But not completely knocking warranty companies, because I think there's a use for that, because it keeps the trucks moving. So, how do you market through social media? So marketing through social media, number one, having help. My wife helps me big time, with marketing, because at first I tried to do it all myself, and after a while I need help. So my wife does a lot of talking and dealing with people. Do all the free stuff first. Get the free stuff down packed. Now the free stuff takes work, so the best thing to do is Facebook ads, because you kind of just drop an ad and then you just calling people and follow up on leads and stuff. You can always message me. I guess I need to provide some sort of contact info, but if you go on my Facebook page, A Team Appliance, so I can put that down here. I could put like a link or something. See, I'm new at this. I'm still trying to learn this stuff, guys. So these broadcasts will get a lot better. But let's see. I'm gonna write my company name. So if you do A Team Appliance on Facebook, you can hit me up on Messenger, and I can help you out with Facebook ads. Um, So I got a couple guys now I'm helping out for free. You need at least $250 ad spend. That don't go to me. The 250 goes to Facebook to pay for the advertising, and that's what you need. Like if you try to do like 40, $50, you're gonna not. It's not gonna be as effective, and you're gonna get a bad taste. It's you get you were thinking that it doesn't work, and it's because you didn't spend enough money, and then also if you try to wing it on your own, doing Facebook ads without assistance, you're going to burn through some cash trying to figure out the system, and you'll either get good at it, or most people you'll end up saying it doesn't work. But it does work. So I've been through the process of burning cash, and now I've got it down packed as far as targeting and stuff like that, and what forms to use, and lead generation and stuff like that. So if you guys want my help, I am more than happy to help. I will do a free trial. From there, I do charge for my services, but I'm pretty cheap because my bread and butter is grinding, man. It's getting out there and repairing machines. But yeah, so marketing through social media is key. But start with the free stuff. Start with the apps. Like I said, I use 5 Mile. Let's see. Let me go back again. I got so many of them. And if you guys use an app that I haven't mentioned, feel free to mention it. Let's all work together. But I use 5 Mile, OfferUp. I can't really see it. 5 Mile, OfferUp. Nextdoor. I have to mention that somehow. Nextdoor is awesome. Facebook Marketplace, Let Go, and Google My Business. So let's talk about Nextdoor. Nextdoor, and everybody in service business, I pretty much has heard about it. But it's a neighborhood website, man. It's your neighbors. So a lot of your neighbors are on there. A lot of them are a bit panicky, and so they'll put on there, oh, some guy rode by my house. Beware. It's some crazies on there. There's a car parked in front of my house. Anybody know? Like, somebody broke into my house. So it's a lot of crazies on there, but it's good for a service business. I put ads on there all the time saying, hey, I do repair. I'm in Lawrenceville. I'm in Gwinnett County, local guy, washer dryer repair. It's great for free pickups. So it's a good way of keeping things local, because the internet is so big. Sometimes you have to spread yourself out and go further than you want to sometimes. But with Nextdoor, it's an awesome resource, especially once you start getting reviews, man. You'll get calls like that. So it's one particular area in Georgia. It's a higher end area, a higher income area, and those people use it all the time. And I am such a rock star on there. Like, people call me so happy because they read all the reviews on there about me. So Nextdoor is an awesome resource. So and it's free. So the only thing with the free apps, I was getting to this earlier and kind of got off track. So with the free stuff, it requires daily attention, like posting, answering questions, daily attention. With Facebook ads, it's you kind of post it once, you let the ad run for a week, and you just respond to customers. It's a little easier to manage. But the free stuff, you got to put on the work. You got to work, but it's well worth it. So, Jimbo Tap, thanks, brother. Appreciate the feedback. All right, engineer. So 250 for social media marketing. Okay, so talking from scratch. So if you're working from scratch, well, engineered appliance repair. So what do you have? I guess because so So I'm in Georgia. So in Georgia, most of my stops are 30 minutes, a 30-minute drive on average, 20 to 30 minutes away. So I would spend about $20 in fuel, $20 to $40 in fuel. I have an F-150 V8. I spend about $20 in fuel a day. Um, Parts. So all right. So let's talk about parts. This is now parts could be a a podcast by itself. So we talk about parts. So the best thing to do with parts is make eBay your best friend, Amazon your best friend. Um, get a seller that you trust because what's going to happen is you're going to get some junk parts that's going to be like cheap stuff. I hate to say cheap from China because there's good stuff from China too, but there'll be some cheap parts on there that you don't use. But I know myself, I'm gonna plug these guys. Luna Parts. I use them on eBay. Their stuff is really good. You got Soupco. Feel free anybody else that use eBay parts to drop a name. Um, eBay is awesome. Your local parts store. So I rarely ever go to my local parts store because I have to drive there, pick up the part, and you pay a little bit more. But it's good when you need something now. So starting off, you're going to have to go to your local parts store. But this is what you're going to have to do. So let's say you go out and you do a lid switch repair, right? So let's say you charge $140 to fix a lid switch. You go to your parts store, you buy the lid switch for 20 bucks or whatever. What you do is now that same lid switch is probably about $10 on eBay. So with you repair you collect your $140, take 40 of that or whatever, and buy 3 to 4 lid switch right then and there on again, this is your best tool. Do it right then and there because you're gonna forget. Other things are gonna come up. So anytime it's called, I have a system I call use a part, buy a part. So if I take a part on my truck, lid switch, put it on right then and there at the customer house, I'm ordering on Amazon or eBay 3 more lid switches for 30 bucks. You know what I mean? On a $140 repair. So that way I keep my truck stocked. I don't have to waste time going to the parts store, coming back to the customer house. So that works for typical parts, lid switches, couplers. Like you should always have couplers, Whirlpool stuff. Um, if you don't have cash flow, then guess what? When you do your free pickups, those are parts machines you can use. Use used parts. Like a Whirlpool pump you can reuse. There's certain things you can reuse. I mean, I'm not a big fan of reusing heating elements, but restring kits. Get restring kits. Those are about $10 to $15. You should always be stocked with restring kits. I restring every single element except the Whirlpool, the little box ones. Those a little time consuming to restring. Learn how to restring elements. I got videos on all this stuff, guys. So feel free to look at my channel. All right, so hopefully I answered that question. How much would you say operating capital inventory? Yeah. Where are your weekend rates if called out? I stay consistent. I try to. You gotta feel your area and your customer base. On average, I probably make between 150 and $200 per service call. um, because here there's a lot of like direct drives, odor washers. That's what I'm usually repairing. If I'm pairing a front loader, I'm usually getting 200 to 250 because it's a drain pump or whatever. Like drain pumps, man. Especially if again sell used appliances. Guys, I highly recommend it because you pull your parts inventory from that. Because I almost never have to buy a drain pump because I usually replace it with one I took off another machine. You save a lot of money, so it's all profit, man, from there if you're prepared. But weekend rates, I don't really charge weekend rates. I've got guys that I use, I send extra work to that particularly, aren't as, they're more blue collar and don't know how to do the marketing stuff. And they don't mind working weekends or late, like, single guys, no family, stuff like that. They don't mind going out at, 11 o'clock at night to fix a machine. Sometimes you can get away with charging more. Tell the customer, well, it's after hours, but this is how much it's going to be, and usually you have more leverage because they can't call someone else. This is my. All right, Jimbo, I'm reading yours. This isn't marketing or inventory, but is repaired recently while working on a hot point washer. After removing the drum nut to separate the inner tub, I had difficulty Yeah, any special advice? Uh, whew. Well, first, I almost never take off separate the tubs on GE washers slash hot point. But that drum nut you will have incredible. First of all, you got to have a spanner wrench for that. Almost have to. It's a reverse thread, I believe. I mean, I've heated those things. They're a pain, and to a point where there are certain things I don't dig into because the labor of that is so intense. Again, and I got a video on this too. One of my phrases is with GEs, it takes two machines to make one. So now it's a lot easier to just do a tub exchange to Frankenstein it. Again, this is where having um, used appliance business comes in handy because you have carcasses laying around or whatever you can use stuff out of. 'Cause with GEs, they're notorious for having those timers go bad, and so like a lot of times the timers there's a knob, and then in the timer they both have teeth. And if you're lucky, just the teeth and knob goes bad, and you replace the knob. But in some cases, the teeth and the timer goes bad, and the timer is like $120 on the machine. You can only get $200 for, so that's not worth reselling or working on. So you'll save the tub. So a lot of times with GEs, if you got a bad tub, or because I know what you're saying, you're probably changing the bearing because it's probably roaring like a freight machine during the spin cycle. I just changed the whole tubs out, man. Instead of diving in and trying to remove the tub and all that stuff. On like GE Frigidaire stuff like that. I'll just change. It's easier to just swap the tubs out. So, but anyway, yeah, it's difficult, bro. I don't really have a lot of advice on removing the span. Trying to get that tub freed other than there's like WD-40 special applications of WD-40 that are designed for stuff like that, like rust buster and all that stuff. But it's a headache, man. It's just not where you could have fixed three or four other machines, while waiting to do that. But if you're at a customer house, uh, I get it. Like at that point, at a customer house, it's usually because of the labor. I usually don't even get that far because I would have to charge like 300-400 bucks just because of the labor of taking the tub out. Like yeah, the little tub bearing is like 10 bucks, but man, it's getting to that thing is rough. So yeah, because that's like at least 2 hours labor, just because of the difficulty of the job. So I would have to charge at least 300, and at that point, the value of the machine, the repair exceeds the value of the machine. So engineered appliance repair, no problem, brother. Jerry, thank you, man. Thanks for watching. Charging per hour or flat rate? So, hang on, I gotta dive into my toolbox. Number one, they're not sponsoring me, but I gotta figure out how to get some money for plugging them. Um, so flat rate. So, the best thing to do when you're first starting out is get a blue book and price that way. So let's have a conversation about pricing. When it comes to pricing, for me, it's a feel. I kind of feel out the customer, feel out the machine. Like, so if you got a 10-year-old Whirlpool direct drive, it's hard to charge 250 bucks to fix it because it's an old machine. But depends on your area and location. It depends on your customer mentality. Some customers be like, "Oh, I just get a used one. I'm not gonna fix it." A lot of people will compare the repair cost to a new one, which helps us out big time because a cheap new machine is about $500 or $600. So that helps us easily with pricing. So, you can say, hey, I can, change the heating element for $200 on this dryer. And they're like, oh, I'll just go get a new machine. And I usually be like, well, have you looked at new machines lately? They're about, $500-$600 for new ones, plus tax, plus delivery when they get, it takes 3 or 4 days. And then they charge you $35 to take away your old one. Or you can just pay 200 bucks and have your heating element changed out. And a heating element is one of the most major components of the dryer to go bad. So you're knocking out one of the biggest things. You can tell them too. Yeah, I inspected the machine, looks pretty good. You can give them some confidence. Sometimes people want confidence for the money they spend. Um, but as far as what I charge what I based what I think I can get and basically what I average to. Um, so like a Samsung uh, pulley, a belt tensioner pulley, that's very common. I usually charge 200 to 220 for that, and it's because the it's an expensive dryer because of the value of the dryer. Um, and then sometimes and you do extra stuff. You get a customer value. You want to vacuum out the machine and stuff like that. But uh, so the easy answer is look at the blue book. It's appliance repair blue book you can buy to get an idea of pricing. I know when I first started off, and I think we all run into this, is like we underprice because it's like, man, this was so you feel it's almost guilt because you feel like it was so easy for like let's say you fix a lid switch, and you're like, man, I feel weird charging $100 for this. So that took me 5 minutes to fix, but get your money because what you're comparing it to, the real value is the time it took you to learn your craft, and also to the customer, hey, how long would it took you to fix this? How long would it took you to figure it out? You know, and your price isn't based off the part. Yeah, the parts are cheap, but it's actually putting them in and installing them. So don't cheat yourself when it comes to pricing. So I basically charge it by the job. So my charge is basically based off the job. So I'm not really sure. So yeah, so I'm just consistent for myself and what other people charge. So I know on the Facebook group I'm in, you got guys charging ridiculous prices, man. Like some like just ridiculous. Like somebody put on there, hey, how much you guys charge for to put it on a heating element on a dryer, a whirlpool dryer, and people would be like, oh, $500, and like, just crazy prices. And I'm like, well, then you're collecting the diagnostic fee. So like if you're collecting too many diagnostic fees, then you're too high. If the customer is saying, wow, that's it, a lot, you're charging too low. So basically, you base off the customer reaction about your pricing. Space Age 3000. What's up? Do I do seal system work? No. Nope, 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 nope. I've got all the equipment. I bought all the equipment. So what slowed me down a lot was the cost of the equipment. I actually went to school. Actually, to learn seal system work, I paid a lot. I paid for training, I paid for equipment, and I don't do it. So there's a niche, definitely a niche there. It's just it wasn't my the refrigerator is not my it's not my lane. I like quick, easy, and move on to the next thing. So um, yeah, I don't do seal system work, but seal system work definitely will get you a job at a company doing seal system work, and also especially with like I think seal system work, their bread and butter with that would be to do commercial stuff. So like restaurants, they'll pay to have their freezers up and running. So seal system work I think is good for like commercial stuff, but it definitely is a specialty. It's fun. I mean, it seems fun to like change out a compressor and stuff. It's not my lane. Uh, any other questions? Questions? So just to recap for some people who I just came into the chat here. Um Appliance flipping. If you're first starting off, the inventory. Let's talk about inventory. If you're looking for inventory, do an ad for a free haul-away of washers and dryers. That's how you can get free inventory. Start off cheap. Somewhere to work out of. Work out of your garage. Work out of anywhere with a space that has power and excuse me, and water. Water is kind of optional, but it's nice so you can find leaks and stuff. But you could test a machine without water. Um, but yeah, water would be nice, especially when to clean them and stuff. Um, yeah, so you have excuse me. So you have that. You have inventory, marketing. First starting off, use every free resource there is. So you have to put in a lot of work. This is where the hard work comes in, because if you don't have the money, well, even if you had the money, man, I would recommend don't throw money. Let's not waste money. Because you start throwing money at things, it kind of makes you lazy, and then if things don't work, you're like, oh, it doesn't work. But start with the free stuff, man. Start with apps, OfferUp, 5 Mile, Facebook Marketplace. Uh, Work at that. You should be posting. your machines, posting your services. When you take pictures of your machines, be sure to have good backgrounds. Don't have like a messy garage in the background or something like what I used to do because I have a messy garage, and so I would put a sheet up. I'll have two people hold a sheet up so they can block the garage and people can just focus on the machine. Don't have pictures of your machines outside on the grass. It looks like, oh, the machine's outside. Especially that will kill your sales on a rainy day because people will see that and be like, oh, it's raining today and that thing is outside. Even though you might take it back in the garage or whatever, it's perception. Um, so just make sure you got good backgrounds. Yeah. Also, close-ups of the dials because people want to see, hey, does it have a delicate cycle? The wording helps because it'll say on there heavy duty. It'll say super capacity plus. So think of it through the eyes of a skeptical customer. Think about it like that. Think the customer is looking for evidence to trust you to give you their business. So give them what they need. Close-ups, good backgrounds, so they won't think they're buying it off out of the scrapyard. Um, so that's for marketing. Then as you elevate your business, hey, contact me. I do Facebook ads for appliance repair and flippers. So contact me. We'll get you started on Facebook ads, and we'll definitely get your phones ringing. We'll definitely get you leads and keep you busy, and keep customers coming your way. And there's a difference between marketing and branding. So posting, like if you look at my Facebook page, excuse me, hang on, time to go get back in the toolbox. So if you look at my Facebook market page, A-Team Appliance Repair, uh, and if you look at my Facebook page, it's branding. Everything I do on there is for branding, not really for sales. I post all my machines. Uh, I'll post advice. You give value. I post, as blogs I might see that give advice about certain detergents to use and stuff like that. So that's all for branding because it doesn't really sell you machines. Not in volume, but helps people legitimize you because people are they're looking that stuff up. They're looking to see who you are. Should they trust you? Should I have this person in my house? Um, so branding is important, but I wouldn't pay for it. You see what I'm saying? So Facebook ads is just straight to the point. Like, hey, this is what I do. Contact me if you need me. And then sometimes they'll back up and they'll look, they'll Google your name or whatever and try to find out about you a little bit more about you. But so that's why I don't believe in don't pay for boost and your Facebook business page. This uh, at least once a day list something. List your machines. List hey, like if you're going to a repair, like your content is all around you. When you go out on a repair, uh, if somebody has like a blanket in their lint screen, take a picture of that and say, hey, don't forget to change your lint screens, or you'll be calling me. There's different things you can do. So, um, yeah. So just a quick recap: marketing, inventory, and also appearance, man. Like your appearance, man. You should have a work shirt. This work shirt, I bought 40s for $40. And you go to Vistaprint. I think I got a bunch of work shirts. So this one is printed, but I have some with stitching that I've had for years. Because you don't want to show up in a hoodie or some old dirty work clothes. Because people want to be able to trust you, so you have to give them the evidence to trust you. So a work shirt, a sign on your truck, helps big time. A toolbox, business cards. Now, when it comes to business cards, don't come with them free Vistaprint flimsy sheets of paper business card. That's so weak, man. Get a real you got a business card? Talking to my wife. Come with a real business card, man. It's only $40, guys. Come on now. $40 gets you a quality card using Vistaprint. Cards are really are unnecessary, but the consumer wants them. People always, hey, you had a business card? Even though I don't think most people don't use them, but the fact that the consumer sees it as a sign of professionalism, I have them. Excuse me. So this is my business card. And you kind of see it. See, it's high gloss, so that's why you can't really see it. The camera. See, front and back. I got front and back done. We love referrals. I got like brand names there. It's a strong business card, glossy, you know. So kind of necessary. This is branding. Branding doesn't really make you uh, a lot of money, but it does and it doesn't. It gives the consumer confidence in who you are. So business cards are branding, shirts are branding, because it allows them to trust you when you walk into their house. Because what happens, I'm gonna tell you, if a customer doesn't trust you, they may still let you in, but they question every little thing. You will get such a hard time. They'll start grilling you. How long you been doing this? Like, and then when you give advice, they will question your advice because they're like, I don't know, because I don't trust you. I don't know, you know. Case in point, let's talk about consumer mentality. All this stuff can be like separate videos, man. Case in point, consumers' uh, perspective, point of view, mentality. Uh, I run an eBay. I do eBay parts on eBay, right? So one thing I learned about eBay, like I would put a part in a box and just send it, right, when I first started. And sometimes I made boxes. I didn't have the money to actually buy nice boxes. I got so much problems from customers. Like how one lady texted me and said, "Hey, this part doesn't work." And I said, "Well, why? What? Well, what happened when you installed it?" "Well, I didn't install it, but when I came, it was in a box and it don't look like it works." It was just in a box and it was no package. It just didn't look like it works, and I want to return it. So like this lady wanted to return the part because she didn't like the appearance it had when it got to her house. So it's consumer. As silly as that sound, I mean, you can debate it, you can argue, but consumer perception is consumer perception, and you have to embrace it. And so, like even like I'll send out like if somebody order like even like a rubber hose, I will wrap that. I'll put it in shrink wrap. If it's a rubber hose, it can't get damaged, but just for appearance purposes, I would. So anyway, appearance is important because you know how to write appearance, the customer will give you such a hard time. Um, and so if they trust you, they trust your word. They trust with the way you look and stuff. So anyway, and this transcends. Even want to talk about race. Sometimes like when I show up, I think a lot of people think they expect the old white guy. Because when you think about sometimes you think about repair and stuff, you think about old white guy. Like I don't know why. But they're still cool because they're like, hey, you still look professional. You got a shirt on, you got a toolbox, you got your tool kit. I'm not a fan of the book bag tool bags. I don't know. To me, that is, I don't know. I don't think those are professional. They're neat to have, but I don't know. So yeah, this appearance is everything. Like I had a customer one time complain about a guy. He showed up with a wrench in his hand. All he had was a wrench. Like, yeah, that's not a repair guy. So appearance is everything. Space Age 3000 wants to know where you learn sealed system work. Trade schools, if you want to go the expensive route. Other than that, man, just YouTube videos and practicing. Again, pick up refrigerators for free. Go pick up one or two refrigerators and practice. And don't practice with live ammo. I say don't go to a customer house and practice on customer stuff because you can get sued if you mess up their refrigerator or something. You flood their house or something. But practice, practice, practice on your own stuff. Pick up, have a second refrigerator at your house and keep it in the garage. Fix it, and run it, and see if it runs, and make sure it doesn't leak, and see if you fixed it. You can always have a leak detector. Most Freon doesn't really wear out. Like it doesn't wear out. It leaks out. Like you say, oh, I need more Freon. Used up all the Freon. It ain't like gas. It's a gas, but it's not like gas in a car. Freon leaks out, so usually usually the connection leaks or something like that. And also you can make a good money with sealed systems too, because I know there are people who have expensive refrigerators. Know there's a leak, don't want to pay the money to have the leak fixed, but they know if they fill it up, it'll last 2 years or a year. And so they're good with that. They'll say, hey, I had one guy that he had a guy that came out every year and fill the refrigerator with Freon. So is what it is. But yeah, trade school, HVAC school. There are plenty Udemy. It's a Udemy, which is a like online school. There's a lot of online schools that teach this stuff. So um, just Google, man, just Google. So I'm about to bring the broadcast to an end. There any other questions? Any other questions? I'm gonna try to have this broadcast next Saturday morning. Um, so if you guys like and subscribe my Facebook page, you'll I'll keep you updated on the next time I go live answering questions. Try to focus more on a particular subject and give value there. Help some of you new guys out. Um, veterans, we can bounce ideas off each other. We can share different ideas. Let me know about some of the advice, some of the marketing if it's working for you. If you run into roadblocks, again, I also offer marketing for appliance repair technicians and appliance flippers. Thank you guys. Engineer appliance guy repair, engineered appliance repair. Appreciate you. Pitcher Man 63. Glad you like the information. And again, this follow like my YouTube channel for updates. I always especially I probably do some today, man. So I'm driving out to Marietta, Georgia, which is about a 45-minute drive, and so that's a good time to kind of record some videos and things that's on my mind. And it's so much I've learned in this business throughout the years through trial and error. I had no mentors, nobody to teach me the business. I guess my mentor was YouTube, and I would started from taking out part of GE washer in my living room to now giving advice and helping others who didn't have the tools who didn't have the tools I wish I had. So hit me up. Hit me up on Facebook. You can hit me up on YouTube. You can hit me up on Facebook. A-Team Appliance Repair. Let me see if I'll pull up a picture of my. And again, these things will get better. I'll learn how to put links and stuff up, man. So there's a picture of my beautiful wife on my webpage, on my Facebook business page. So you see that it's kind of blurry, but you see that that's me. A-Team Appliance Sales and Repair on Facebook, and also don't forget to like and subscribe here. Space Age 3000. Talk about starter tools. Okay, we'll get that in. Starter tools. Harbor Freight is your best friend. I know everybody heard of Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight or Northern Tool. The place people knock. Oh, it's cheap stuff. Like, yeah, it's cheap, but there's certain things you can't mess up. Like, you can't mess up a screwdriver. Like, you know what I mean? Come on, man. I don't need a $20 screwdriver. Give me the $1 screwdriver. Harbor Freight is your best friend. It's nice. In our business, I consider our repairs light duty. Light duty. So like with mechanics, I think it's important to have like high-end tools. But for a wash and dryer repair, you need a good drill. I would spend money on a good drill. I would do that. Because cheap drills, the battery die on you fast, and it's a pain. The thing I would probably invest the most in is a drill. Go to Home Depot, something like that, get a nice one for $150 because it's the batteries that go bad in those things all the time. So you want a really good battery. You want to go to so I would start off with a good drill. The tool bits you're going to use the most is a 1/4-inch nut driver and a 5/16 nut driver. If you work on direct drive, you're going to need a 7/16 socket to take off the agitator and a 1/2-inch socket to take off the transmission. Those are your primary go-to. So you're gonna get some of those that are pretty good. So get a good socket set, a good drill, screwdrivers, some hex head. So just basic stuff, nothing important. You get to a point where you're gonna need a hose clamp. So I guess next time I'll bring some of my tools in. A hose clamp is really, really nice to have for when you're taking pumps off and stuff, so water won't flood everywhere. A good shop vac for dryers, because you have to clean out the dryers. Towels. taking pumps off, you're gonna get water on the floor. Um, yeah, other than that, this basic stuff, man. Now, when you get into refrigerator and sealed system stuff, then you need like you need expensive, good quality stuff uh, to do the job. But for most, wash and dry repair stuff, man, it's basic stuff. Harbor Freight be your best friend. You pay about you buy about voltmeter. I use cheap voltmeters, man. I'll be honest with you. People go out and get these expensive voltmeters and stuff. I use cheap ones, man, because most of the time I'm doing continuity tests. So any meter can do that as long as it beeps. I don't like the stuff that don't beep, but it's a beep beep continuity test. So I use cheap voltmeters. The biggest thing that go bad on my voltmeters are the leads, because I keep them in my tool bag and I wrap them, so usually my leads get bad, but the meter itself usually stays good. So I use a cheap voltmeter as long as I have it has a continuity test with a beeping on it. So I think that's all I can think of. Yeah. Excuse me. Oh, a good hand truck. So if you're flipping appliances, get a good. Now, this is what any hand truck. Well, okay, two hand trucks you need. You need an appliance dolly, because that will help you go up and down stairs. You need an appliance dolly. You get that at Harbor Freight. Theirs are kind of big and heavy. I've got a new appliance dolly that's about a $500-$600 appliance dolly. I actually gave it to my delivery guy to use because I like the old school one. I've got an old school one I've had for a long time, and because it's lighter, there's less metal. The new ones are big and bulky and heavy. So I got an old school one that climbs down, that just slides downstairs with the belts on the back. So that's a must if you're going upstairs. And then get a regular hand truck for if you go off road, which I call like if you go through grass and stuff. But the key to a good hand truck is the tires. You can get cheap tires. You get tires pretty cheap that fill with air, but you'll go through them. So I would highly recommend getting an airless. I can't think of the name of it right now, but getting the airless tires that don't require air in them. So you don't have to worry about going flat all the time and wearing out. But yeah, the key to a hand truck, the actual hand truck mechanism itself isn't the value. It's actually the tires, because you will go through some tires if you don't get good tires. So I hope that answers your question. Any other questions? Speak now or forever wait till next Saturday. This is Reggie with A-Team Appliance. Don't forget to like and subscribe on my YouTube channel for all your updates on washer dryer repairs, repair advice for flippers. Also, you can go on my Facebook page, A-Team Appliance Sales and Repair. If you want to get ideas on marketing and you kind of like just look at my page and see what I'm doing. And I don't mind copy what I do. I don't care. There's enough business to go around. That's another mentality too, man. I'm going off on a tangent, but that's another mentality. You get some guys that say, competitors and us. I guess that's good in small towns. Competition is probably can be a little fierce, but if you're in a big city in the metro area, man, if a guy opens up a shop down the street, that doesn't affect you, man. Work together, because at the end of the day, it's about marketing. It's all about marketing. So, I mean, I've got you'll get customers customers that come to your store probably pass about 4 or 5 other appliance stores, but your marketing brought them to you. So don't worry about competitors. We shouldn't compete in this business. We should work together in this business. We can all grow together. There's enough business out there where nobody's taken from you. If your business isn't thriving and succeeding, it's because of your own limitations, not because of someone else. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and log off unless there's any other questions. This is Reggie with A-Team Appliance, giving advice, doing Q&A session on flipping washer dryers. I'm so used to focusing on that. Flipping appliances and talking marketing in this video. And join us next Saturday morning and for times and stuff. Log on to my Facebook page, like my Facebook business page, A-Team Appliance Sales and Repair, or subscribe here on YouTube and get the latest updates on what we're doing. And if you have any questions, if there's any content we haven't covered, feel free to ask me and we'll get you going. And again, I wish you all the best luck in your business. Remember, try to stay out of your own way. Keep an open mind. Work hard, but work hard going forward. Don't work hard just to work hard. Work smart. This is Reggie, A Team Appliance, signing off. Y'all have a great weekend. God bless.